Bridget.
Hi, Pamela.
I brought some fresh strawberries from my rooftop garden in Brooklyn.
How about a strawberry pie with these beautiful berries? These look like jewels.
They're so fresh and red.
All right, so we're gonna make a great and fresh tasting strawberry pie. And in my opinion, there are two types of fruit pie. There's apple pie and then all other pies. First thing we wanna do, and this is gonna be actually difficult, we wanna pick out some ugly strawberries.
Ugly strawberries.
Ugly strawberries. We need to cook some of them, so we might as well cook the ugly ones and save the pretty ones for a show. Before we get to that, I do want to show how to hull these strawberries. So some people will just take this little leaf and try to pull it off, but you don't get that stem end there. So we'll take a paring knife and you can go in there and just work it around, rotate the berry, leave the knife in place. That's much safer than trying to gouge it out. Or if you don't want to do that, you can do what's called the little V, where you just basically turn this little berry into a heart. Just like that. We need 1.5 cups of ugly berries.
Ugly berries.
Good luck with this.
What other kind of fruits or berries would be good for this pie?
Well, I would, if I was trying to substitute all berries for strawberries, I probably wouldn't do that. Strawberries are so different from raspberries or blackberries. But you could take out some of the strawberries and add in a raspberry or blueberry or blackberries. We always called those bumbleberries when it was a ton of different kinds of berries that went into the same dish. My mom always called it bumbleberry.
Here's your 1.5 cups. Not the prettiest.
Not the prettiest.
But still pretty.
Still really good looking. So we'll go ahead and put the 1.5 cups right in here. And we'll puree them down to a nice smooth puree. We're sort of making a jam. And if you don't mind, if you could go ahead and turn this on for about 20 to 30 seconds until it's nice and smooth, okay? Let's get this off. There we go. Now I'm looking for 3/4 cup of strawberry puree. So that was perfect. You were spot on. This is so easy. A good rule of thumb when making something like this is a thickener. We've got 3/4 cup of the puree, we've got 3/4 cup of sugar. So it really helps to even things out. And this is basically the entire sweetener for the whole pie. And here's the thickeners that I was talking about. So this is 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. It's not a lot. And on its own, it really isn't enough. But if we continue to add more cornstarch to this, it would look gummy. And it would dull the flavor as well. So we're gonna add pectin. And this is 1.5 teaspoons of the low sugar pectin. That's very important. If you add regular pectin in here, it's not going to set up.
And you can buy pectin at pretty much any grocery store?
Yep, go to the baking aisle and look up. It's always on the top shelf.
Okay.
And just a little bit of salt, about a pinch, should do it. And that always drives me crazy when people don't add salt to desserts. It really does round out the flavors on your tongue. It wakes up more of your taste buds and it tells you that it tastes rounder and fuller. So we'll whisk all this together. And add in our puree. All right, so I just want to stir this until it's completely smooth before we head over to the stove. And that way I know all the sugar has started to dissolve and we're not going to get any lumps of cornstarch.
Does the cornstarch help to thicken it?
It sure does, yeah. Cornstarch is used a lot, especially with fruit pies, because it gives that nice glossy look. We can go and head right over to the stove. All right, this is where we turn that beautiful strawberry puree into a jam. I'm going to turn on a burner to medium-high. And we want to stir this constantly because this mixture has tons of sugar in it. If you don't stir it constantly, it could burn. So what we're looking for at this point is for this mixture to start to come up to a simmer. It's going to start to boil. And pectin really needs that temperature in order to start to activate and set. And cornstarch to a lesser degree, it can start to set around 170 degrees. All right, so Pamela, you can see right around the edges that it's starting to bubble. All right, and you can see it's actually deepened in color too. So we know we're on the right track. I'm going to continually stir this for about 2 minutes. It'll continue to deepen in color, look really frothy, and then we can move on to the next step. So we're pulling this right off the burner, transfer it to a big bowl. This is going to be the bowl that we toss the rest of the strawberries in. Oh, the smell. So good. Get every last drop. And now for a little bit of tart flavor to balance out the sweetness, we've got a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice.
All right.
Goes in there. And you can see it's continuing to thicken quite a bit. This is going to sit here and cool to room temperature before we can move on. All right, you can see this is completely cool. The bottom of the bowl is nice and cool. All right, super thick. So this is 2 more pounds of berries, and any large ones we've gone ahead and cut in half.
Okay.
So all of these go right into that beautiful jammy glaze. Great. And we'll go ahead and toss these gently. Look at that. See, that's our thickener. And it really, these turn into jewels with that sparkle. And then we just eat them. Now we're gonna fill a pie shell. This is a pre-baked pie shell. It's completely baked through. And you know, a good hint for when you're baking any pie, we love these glass pie plates because they give you an idea of how done the pies are on the bottom.
Oh, that's a great tip.
Pile these right in there. Now we get to fuss with it just for a moment and make it look nice and pretty. So any of these berries that are turned over, just want to flip them back and make sure that it's all nice and even. All right, so this is going to go into the fridge and it needs to set, and that pectin's going to continue to thicken. And we also want to chill those strawberries down.
Okay.
So 2 hours in the fridge should do it.
2 hours? Great.
So 2 hours in the fridge, and this is set and chilled and ready to eat. I'm gonna slice it with a knife, nice sharp knife, and some of the strawberries may tumble, but that's okay. That's the beauty of a homemade pie. There we go.
Perfect.
So it's right in between a little crust and crumble and pie, all right?
Great.
So would you like some whipped cream?
Do I want whipped cream? Yes.
And this is easy to make. It's just a cup of heavy cream and a nice tablespoon of granulated sugar. It's whipped to soft peaks. I'm dying to know what you think of this pie. Is it worthy of your beautiful strawberries?
I think it's going to be. This is fantastic.
Does it have enough berry flavor there for you?
It's sweet, but so fresh. Just like picking strawberries from the garden.
Well, that's because we only cooked 6 ounces of the almost 3 pounds of berries that are in this pie. So it really is a fresh strawberry pie.
It's delicious.
Awesome. So glad you like it.
For this great recipe and others that Bridget has made with the Gardeniers, check out Gardenieres.com. Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. So what's next?
Whatever you want.
Can you grow a banana?
Try.
Banana cream pie?